Hi there, and welcome to our English Listening Practice podcast. We're so happy to have you with us today. In this episode, we'll listen to a special story called The Unexpected Guest. It's a thoughtful and emotional story, perfect for intermediate learners who want to improve their English listening skills while enjoying a meaningful story. So sit back, relax, and let's begin. It was a quiet Friday evening, and I was home alone after a long week of work, ready to relax with a good book and maybe watch a movie later. I had just finished making a simple dinner, pasta with tomato sauce and garlic bread, and was about to sit down at the table when I heard a knock at the door. It was strange because I wasn't expecting anyone, and usually, people text before coming over. I paused for a second, wiped my hands on a towel, and walked toward the door. When I opened it, I saw a man standing there with a small suitcase and a tired smile. He looked to be in his early 40s, with short hair, a scruffy beard, and a polite but cautious expression. "Hi," he said. "You probably don't remember me, but I'm your cousin Daniel." I stared at him for a moment, confused. I did remember hearing about a cousin named Daniel who moved abroad when we were kids, but we had never really met as adults. "I was passing through town," he continued, "and I thought I'd drop by. I know it's unexpected, but I was hoping I could stay the night." My first instinct was hesitation, but then I reminded myself that hospitality matters, especially with family. I stepped aside and invited him in, still feeling surprised. He walked in slowly, looking around the apartment as if remembering something, though I was sure he had never been there before. I offered him a seat and something to eat, and we ended up talking for hours. He told me about the countries he had lived in, the different jobs he had worked, and the people he had met. He had lived in South America, Europe, and even parts of Asia. His life sounded like an adventure, full of risks, surprises, and changes. I found myself intrigued by his stories, especially when he talked about living in a small village in the Andes where there was no internet or running water. He also told me about working on a fishing boat in Norway and teaching English in Thailand. We laughed at some of his stories and sat in silence during the sad ones. He had lost a close friend in a car accident, and he said that moment changed the way he saw life. I offered him the guest room, and he went to sleep early while I stayed up a bit longer, wondering about this sudden visit. The next morning, I made coffee and pancakes, and we had breakfast together. It felt natural, like we had known each other for years. After breakfast, we went for a walk in the park near my apartment. The sky was gray, and the air smelled like rain, but it was peaceful. We talked more about family, and I realized how little I knew about his side of the family. He spoke kindly about his parents, who had both passed away years ago. He asked me questions too, about my job, my daily life, my hobbies. I told him about the bookstore I worked at, my love for photography, and my cat Luna. When we got back to the apartment, he checked his phone and said he had a train to catch that evening. I felt a little sad, but I understood. He packed his things and thanked me for the hospitality. Before he left, he handed me a small envelope and told me not to open it until he was gone. We hugged goodbye, and I watched him walk down the street, disappearing around the corner. I sat down on the sofa and opened the envelope. Inside was a photo of two young boys playing in a garden. I realized it was us, as children, taken long ago at a family gathering I barely remembered. Along with the photo was a short note that read, "Even when life takes us far, the past can always bring us home. Thank you for reminding me of that." I felt tears in my eyes and smiled. That unexpected visit changed something in me. I started reaching out to other relatives, reconnecting with people I had lost touch with. I also became more open to surprises, more willing to let life happen without needing to control every moment. Over the next few weeks, I got 2 postcards from Daniel, one from a small town in Spain, and another from a mountain village in Turkey. He wrote about the people he met, the food he tried, and always ended with, "Hope you're doing well, cousin." I kept the postcards and the photo on my fridge, a little reminder that sometimes, the most meaningful moments come from the unexpected. One evening, a few months later, I was walking home from work when I saw a man sitting on a bench near my building. It wasn't Daniel, but it made me think of him. I sat next to the stranger and offered him half of my sandwich, and we ended up talking for nearly an hour. It reminded me that connection doesn't always need an invitation, it just needs openness. I don't know if I'll ever see Daniel again, but his visit left a mark on my life. Now, whenever I hear a knock at the door, I wonder what story is about to enter. Thanks so much for listening to today's episode. We hope you enjoyed the story and that it helped you learn new vocabulary and improve your understanding of English. Keep practicing a little every day, and your listening skills will continue to grow. Don't forget to check out our other episodes too. Until next time, take care, stay curious, and keep learning English. See you soon.